Talk 58 is next Sunday at 3 p.m. on CBS. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Climate is king.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that caring for the community means caring about the climate. You might have heard that we announced a pretty bold 12-month, $2 million campaign to do 4 things. Increase climate literacy, turn up the volume on communities of color in the climate conversation, connect everyday people with the resources they need to survive and thrive, and highlight frontline climate justice crusaders of color throughout this year. KBLA Talk 1580 will be bringing you insightful interviews on all of our shows to help raise your climate IQ. Each quarter this year, we will also be hosting free climate events in various communities throughout the city with food, fun, and forward-thinking conversations. Thanks to partners like LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, the Sierra Club, the California Community Foundation, the California Endowment, AQMD, MWD, and more. You'll also be hearing more about a couple of national town halls broadcasting live from Los Angeles, to which you will be invited. And we'll be rolling out a robust social media campaign on all our platforms, as well as an outdoor media campaign, all designed to educate, enlighten, and empower you in our fight for climate justice.
We want cleaner air.
Caring about the community means caring about the climate. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that we really can change the world if we care enough. 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 If we care enough.
21. Oh, life has just begun. Got a temper like a gun, pointing it at everyone. That's his game, and it helps him to get through the day. But a voice inside him says, how much longer can I play? He's got infinite possibilities, I can see them now. It's the unbroken chains of his past by which he's bound.
It's time to set our intentions, set our self-care, and find our focus. This is Mindful Mondays with Saharah Ali on KBLA Talk 1580.
And it is such a joy to start my week and your week every time with a meditation instructor, a mindfulness teacher. She's a life coach. She's a sound healer and sound bath expert, an astrologer, and so much more. Saharah Ali, good morning.
Good morning, Dominique and KBLA family. Welcome to Mindful Monday, where we get our minds right for the week by setting positive intentions to honor our mind and body through meditation, prayer, and affirmation as we step unapologetically into our week, being on purpose with faith, truth, wisdom, and power. Happy Black History Month. With that, Mercury is moving into Aquarius today for the next 18 days. Mercury is the planet of communication and has a hand in everything to do with the process of information, cell phones, social media, technology, and all the gadgets we depend on. In a nutshell, Mercury is the astrological energy in charge of communication, navigation, and travel, in addition to overseeing our 5 senses, our sense of taste, touch, sound, smell, and sight. There's a super celestial lineup bringing forward the possibility of unexpected changes in addition to unexpected miracles, generating expansion and growth, breaking down old ideas, giving way to collective and universal shifts in all things for improvement. This unique journey of Mercury and Aquarius will give us all an opportunity to get anchored in our higher truth with a deeper level of spiritual growth. So our Mindful Monday meditation call to action this week is to be present, to be fearless, and ready to accept our power as change agents. And with this, stepping into our power as change agents, get it right, Sahara. Take a breath. Take a breath, quieting your mind, and be here, right now, in this moment. Centering yourself, grounding yourself, allowing yourself to connect to a brilliant light within you. Whatever color you create at this time, visualize this brilliant light hovering over the top of your head. Just breathe and tap into this brilliant color you're creating to support you in anchoring in our Mindful Monday meditation today. Take a breath. See this color. Feel this color. Now exhale. Tap into inner peace. Tap into releasing any tension, any tightness in your body. And visualize this brilliant color covering your body from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. And breathe. And as this color melts down your body, be here now, present, opening your mind and your soul to divine wisdom, calling on clarity, allowing this light to guide you. Just breathe. Now inhale, hold that breath. Hold it for a moment, feeling that light. And as you exhale, release all thoughts. Release all thoughts and listen to your breath. Breathing in and out, listen to your breath, listen to your heart, and feel this color generating energy for you. Just breathe. Now inhale. With faith, feel the power of your innate gifts. Feel the power of this light around you, supporting you, vitalizing you. Now exhale and let go of all judgment, all fear, and open to truth. Open to the truth of your wholeness. Open to the truth of being a change agent. Now inhale, leaning into the power of our ancestors as we celebrate Black History Month, but as we celebrate every day, lean into the power of our ancestors. Exhale, relax, and trust the wisdom of our ancestors to bring vision and clarity to us on this day and every day going forward. Now inhale and feel yourself anchored and grounded. Feel yourself connected to a power greater than yourself, trusting your innate wisdom. And now exhale, open to see and hear and trust and know divine right action is manifesting in your life with grace here and now. Inhale, affirm infinite possibilities, overcoming any darkness, blinding your vision, blinding your faith, blinding your power. Breathe that in. Exhale, make a promise to navigate with clarity, to navigate with trust, to navigate with faith, and be unapologetic as a change agent, impacting the collective, enhancing evolution at this time when our light is shining bright. Inhale, relax, release, let go, exhaling. Center yourself, ground yourself, hold the vision of your body surrounded in this light and anchored and tethered to earth, picking up your power. And just relax. And now breathe in our Mindful Monday affirmation as we step boldly on purpose with clarity into our week. Relax and just breathe. Now take the biggest breath you've had all morning. Hold that breath. Hold. Holding on to the light, holding on to your power. Now exhale and listen. Let your breath be normal and just listen, opening your heart and mind to our Mindful Monday affirmation for the week. Today, I embrace my ancestral power, boldly stepping forward on purpose as a change agent open to infinite possibilities. Today, I embrace my ancestral power, boldly stepping forward on purpose as a change agent open to infinite possibilities. Relax and breathe. Feel yourself anchored in this light. Bring your awareness back, but see your body glowing in this light all day as you hold the power of being a change agent. Thank you, Dominique, Tavis Smiley, and the 1580 KBLA family. Have an unapologetic, mindfully blessed week, being a change agent open to infinite possibilities.
Mm-hmm. All right, and 18 days of Mercury in Aquarius, so just another cycle in the middle of our cycles. Thank you so much, Saharah Ali. The meditation and the insights that you bring are just such a great way to start our week. And I just want to remind us in the middle of the storms, literal storms, and our personal emotional storms that looking inside, doing a little meditation and setting our intentions really does help. It makes such a big difference, and just setting an intention for the whole year, the day, the week, or a particular project. All of those things can help us stay on course. I think it was Minister Gabby Amlak, an astrologer who's on my show, The Front Page, many years ago, who said, you wouldn't leave the house naked. Why are you leaving the house spiritually naked? And I think you get us spiritually clothed for the week every Monday. I really appreciate that, Saharah.
And it's important to remember that as we navigate life, we benefit by knowing it is clarity that eliminates the confusion and miscommunication. So go shine.
Go shine and find that clarity. If you want to find Saharah Ali, maybe you want to take a sound bath, or you can even get a reading over the phone. You don't want to drive anywhere in the next couple days. You can call her assistant, Elise, at 213-628-9783, 213-628-9783, or go to SaharahAli.com. That is SaharahAli.com. Again, thank you, Saharah.
Thank you, Dominique, and the KBLA family.
And I got a 6 a.m. update here from the LAUSD. They are still keeping the schools open today. I'm giving them the side eye for that, because to me, if you're telling people to stay on the road, you might want to close them down. I get that a lot of people aren't prepared, though, to get babysitters and such. And also, we know that we lost so much during the pandemic. I'm sure all of those things are part of the calculus. If you can't get to school for some reason, your road is flooded out or whatever, they are booting up the remote learning access resources today, so you can go online if you want to. And it is worth noting that 7 California State University campuses are going remote today because of the rain. That's Fullerton, Cal State Fullerton, Cal State LA, Northridge, Dominguez Hills, Cal Poly Pomona, San Bernardino, and Cal State Long Beach. If you go to any of those schools, you are not on campus today. You are online. The entire UC Santa Barbara has moved classes online for today. Some of them have actually been rescheduled. USC and UCLA, as of last night, said that they would be open with classes as usual, but many of the Cal State universities are going virtual for today. And as soon as you get out there, you'll see why. I mean, there's a lot of flooding. The rain's coming down really, really hard, and we're expecting to continue to be slammed today. We are going to hear from one of the folks seeking to replace Steve Bradford as Senator. Jennifer Williams will be joining us in telling us about her bid for Senate. You can call me, 800-920-1580. And I've got a few choice words on our incredible new polling. We always say we're evidence-based and data-driven. We don't just talk out the side of our necks. We talk based on facts. We consider the source. Well, now we are the source. We've done polling on public safety here in LA County, and specifically the district attorney's race, arguably one of the most important things on your ballot right now. So we are unpacking that and offering this insight on what Black people in LA County, Black likely voters in LA County have to say about public safety and the district attorney's race. And there are some gems, jewels, and nuggets that we will continue to share. I can't wait to hear what Mr. Smiley has to say about this, and also the analysis of knee Cordelai Corte, Dr. Corte, and of course my colleague, Attorney Ariva Martin, and you, 800-920-1580. I'm Dominique DiPrima for KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we do Black history every single day. In fact, as the only Black talk radio station west of the Mississippi, we are Black history. Our annual Black History Month luncheon is fast approaching, and we want to be sure to give you ample time to get your company, organization, church, or group to join us at this year's celebration on the last day of the month, Thursday, February 29th at noon. Last year, we honored iconic local Black media personalities, including Pat Harvey, Jim Hill, Mark Brown, Beverly White, Sandy Banks, and Pat Prescott, and raised $20,000 in scholarships. This year, we're honoring Black Hollywood creatives who have used their artistic genius as climate justice champions. At this year's luncheon, we will be showcasing and sharing their inspiring work on our big screen. Plus, a scrumptious meal, live music, great company, and lots of fun with your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts. So contact us today at info@smileyaudio.com or call 323-290-4690. That's info@smileyaudio.com or call 323-290-4690. We hope to see you Thursday, February 29th as we close out Black History Month. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your Black.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Anjali.
Hi, it's Jennifer Coolidge. I just got an alert for a strange charge on my card.
No problem. We make sure you're never held responsible for unauthorized purchases on your Discover card. Let's see. Did you purchase something from a t-shirt cannon store yesterday?
Absolutely not. No, I already have like 3.
$0 fraud liability guarantee. It pays to Discover. Learn more at discover.com/creditcard. Limitations apply.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DiPrima on First Things First.
And as you know, hopefully you know by now, Dominique DiPrima, we at First Things First, Dominique and Miles Lowe, along with Shakari Byerly, the first to unveil, really the first in the nation to unveil this survey, this polling done by KBLA Talk 1580, commissioned by us, done by the firm Eviderus, respected pollsters. And we are doing this partly because pollsters ignore us. And we're going to keep doing it. We, KBLA, are going to keep doing polls. Part of the goal is to prevent local officials, county, state, national conversations from excluding specific and nuanced Black voices in these conversations. And there's so much to unpack here. Jumping on with me really quick as he's flying around doing lots of things today, the founder of the Fannie Lou Hamer Institute. He's a lead organizer with Black Lives Matter Grassroots and BLMLA, and he's my colleague here on KBLA. He's one of the rotating hosts of This Is Not a Drill, Black Lives Matter show, Saturday mornings. Akili, good morning.
Good morning, Dominique, and good morning to the KBLA family. And Dominique, part of the reason I'm calling in is because this is the 12th anniversary of the murder of Trayvon Martin. He would be 29 years old today.
Right. Today's his birthday, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And there was there's a weekend of activities here to remember him and commemorate his murder, but also to build the Trayvon Martin Foundation and the work that they're doing around, specifically focused around gun violence and family support and participation that they've been involved in. And I've one of the things that Trayvon Martin's death did was it was the spark, the match, if you will, that lit the Black Lives Matter grassroots flame, because it was the conviction of George Zimmerman that sparked the outrage and that led to the discussions that had been happening between, three Black women organizers, and a hashtag that talked about Black Lives Matters. And so from that discussion, from that simple statement, a movement was built. But I find it ironic that we are here to commemorate him, but many of the problems, many of the causes that led to his death, unfortunately, still exist. And we do need to remember, just like we remember George Floyd, just like we remember Breonna Taylor and the rest, that unfortunately Black death, which is a high price to pay to wake America up and to wake white folks up to the conditions of Black people. So I just wanted to call in and remind people about Trayvon Martin. He would be 29 years old. He would be living a full life, but his life was cut short by a vigilante, if you will.
Yeah, a wannabe cop. Commemorating, I think, his birth is very uplifting. And, of course, we want to commemorate people's deaths also, but it's wonderful to commemorate his heavenly birthday and uplifting the work. I know you're on the way back from that full weekend of activities, the work that the Trayvon Martin Foundation continues to do. That's something you can support, by paying attention to it or even making a donation if you want to. So as his family continues to carry out important work, it's TrayvonMartinFoundation.org, TrayvonMartinFoundation.org. Akili,
Yes.
Oh, go ahead.
Yes. Well, and the family, particularly his mother, has been a driving force around that. I mean, bringing other impacted families together. And women, there's a women's circle that they had that they started some years ago that has been meeting and working with family members and mothers in particular. And they have a men's circle. So a lot of the work that the foundation does is around bringing people together who have these unfortunate set of common conditions where they've lost a loved one to violence. Whether it's community violence or police violence, and they've been, very active in really focusing on gun violence. So,
yeah.
But Sabrina, his mother, has really been a driving force around first the commemoration and remembrance of George Floyd and what happened and why it happened, and then doing what she can and others can to try to make sure it doesn't continue to happen.
Right, got it. TrayvonMartinFoundation.org. We just have a couple minutes left here, Akili, but I want to get your quick take because I know you spent many, many years working on campaigns, including Jesse Jackson, all the way up to Barack Obama, in that space. And as you know, KBLA has commissioned this groundbreaking study to look at how Black folks feel about public safety in particular and the district attorney's race specifically. And it's pretty startling at looking at this data. I don't see how, I grant you this is only Black voters, but I don't see how they avoid a runoff in this race with Gascon getting 21% support, and then there's all these other candidates who are showing up at 1% and 2%.
Well, and I think that's an indication of two things. One, and I'm going to take it back a few years prior to the involvement of Black Lives Matter and what we did to remove the last district attorney. The district attorney's office was not. We didn't pay very much attention to it. Once, Steve Cooley was there for many years, and then Jackie Lacey, and we didn't pay very much attention to it. But when Black Lives Matter stepped in, we started activating it, and so it's a much more high-profile office. That's the first thing. The second thing is that because it was kind of assumed we really don't know what the district attorney did, and we found that out during the Jackie Lacey process, that a lot of folks don't even know what the district attorney does. And then finally, because you may not be touched by crime or you may not be touched by an investigation, you don't think it affects you.
Well, it's but I mean, it's interesting, Akili, because it's something like 45% of the people surveyed have been the victim of a property crime personally within the past couple of years, and I think it's 24% that have had themselves or a loved one victim of a violent crime. So, and I guess what you're saying explains why, more than 50%, more than half of black folks say they're watching this race closely. We just haven't made up our minds.
And think about it. I mean, we haven't in large part because we're not certain about the impact that it will have in our lives and on our lives and in our communities. I think Gascon, who I endorse and support, has done a good job of trying to do data-based, data-driven, prosecution, and he's prosecuted law enforcement in ways that haven't been done in many years, if at all. And that was one of his commitments. He's met with the families on a regular basis. He has, he's gotten released people who should have been released a long time ago, and he's not focusing on punishment, which is the ethos in our society, which is punish people first, and then if that don't work, punish them more. So he's getting away from just. Yeah,
but it's not like it's not like this perception is that he's just letting people do whatever. I mean, there's plenty of people going to jail under Gascon.
Yes, but one of the things that we found out through the discussion around mass incarceration, that just sending people to jail and filling up the prisons doesn't make us any safer.
Yeah.
So I think on the one hand we want to be safe. On the other hand, we're spending billions of dollars locking people up, and we're still aren't safe. And so I think his approach has been fundamentally sound. I think that his efforts at trying to turn away from just lock everybody up and throw away a key and punish them to how do we make sure that we can have a safe society by looking at data-driven approaches and looking at how we can build relationships in communities to reduce some of the violence.
Akili, we got to leave it there because you know what we do. It's news, traffic, and sports. Thank you so much for checking in with us along the way in your travels.
No, thank you so much. And please, if you would, remember Trayvon Martin.
Absolutely. Say his name. It's KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 is an intervention. When we come forward, includes you. KBLA Talk 1580, turning pain into power.
Glad that you're sharing a part of your Monday with us here on the Black Information Network on the 5th day of February. I'm Mike Moore. Here's the latest. President Joe Biden is victorious in the first Democratic presidential primary in the nation. Polls closed in South Carolina Saturday night. Joe Biden saw an overwhelming victory over Congressman Dean Phillips and author Marianne Williamson. The Republican presidential primary in South Carolina happens February 24th. A prominent African-American U.S. senator says President Biden hasn't lost any black support. Speaking on CNN's State of the Union, South Carolina Democrat James Clyburn pointed to Biden's dominant win in the Palmetto State in Saturday's primary. Senator Clyburn noted that the city where Biden won the largest percentage is a town that's home to 2 historically black colleges. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
When you get your biggest tax refund from Jackson Hewitt, prepare to shout, "Jackson Hewitt, yeah!" from the rooftops. In the event you don't get your biggest refund, you'll get your money back. plus $100.
Is this the tackle? This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Clippers are 5-1 on their 7-game road trip. They beat Miami by 8 on Sunday. Kawhi Leonard led the Clippers with 24 points, 21 points and 11 assists for James Harden. The Clippers wrap up their trip tonight in Atlanta, 4:30 tip-off. The Lakers are back in action today. They're at Charlotte, last game of their 5-game road trip, 4 p.m. tip. Another strong performance by USC freshman Juju Watkins. The Compton native dropped 29 points Sunday to help USC's women's basketball team win by 10 at Cal. Watkins has scored a combined 80 points in USC's last 2 games. Watkins is now the nation's number 2 scorer with 27.2 points per game. Iowa's Caitlin Clark leads the nation at 32.4. The Kansas City Chiefs and San Francisco 49ers arrived in Las Vegas Sunday. Super Bowl 58 is next Sunday at 3 p.m. on CBS. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Got me a damn girl on my team.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe we have the best tag team in morning radio. Dominique DiPrima and Tavis Smiley. As the first black woman in Los Angeles to anchor a morning drive talk radio show, Dominique covers local politics like a blanket. Weekday mornings from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. At 9 a.m., Dominique passes the baton to Tavis Smiley, who talks to everybody about everything every day until 12 noon. KBLA's dynamic duo, Dominique and Tavis. It's no wonder the LA Civil Rights Department is honoring Dominique DiPrima this year at its Tell Our Story honoring black journalist leaders and storytellers event, Thursday, February 8th. Or that the John M. Langston Bar Association of Los Angeles is honoring Tavis Smiley at its 47th Annual Installation and Scholarship Awards Gala with its Community Impact Award on February 10th. We couldn't be more proud of Dominique and Tavis, who make black history every day, not just in February. If you're missing Dominique and Tavis weekday mornings on KBLA Talk 1580, you're missing out. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we've got your black.
Holla, yeah.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
LADWP is proud to partner with KBLA to share with you how to start the new year without bill worries. We're here to help if you're behind on your bill or need help staying current. Sign up anytime online for Level Pay to set predictable monthly payments throughout the year, including for past due amounts. You can also check out the special extended pay arrangements of up to 48 months to help pay down your bill. If you're a senior or income qualified, you may be eligible for Easy Save to receive discounts and also qualify for free and discounted energy and water saving devices. You can get up to $15,000 for past due water and or sewer bills and up to $3,000 for electric bills. But you gotta act fast. Funding is limited. You can reduce your past due bills and kick off the year right, because here at LADWP, we're here to help. Visit ladwp.com/cares today and find out more.
Girl, I have a secret. When I get stressed out, I get sweaty. That's why I use Secret Clinical Antiperspirant. It's like my own secret weapon. For 72 hours, I get Secret's strongest protection against sweat caused by stress, heat, and activity, because you know how crazy life can get. Plus, it's made with advanced odor fighters that don't just cover up smelliness. They help prevent it from happening in the first place. Believe me, if I weren't wearing Secret, I'd be a hot, smelly mess. Thankfully, Secret works.
We knew you'd stick around. This is LA's home for progressive talk radio. Welcome back to KBLA Talk 1580.
And we're doing that thing that we do where we're interviewing all the folks that are on the ballot in specifically important races to us. You can find those interviews at KBLA 1580, along with our groundbreaking survey of black likely voters in Los Angeles, which just dropped an hour and a half ago. It's available at KBLA 1580 as well. Joining me live in the studio, you'll want to go to youtube.com KBLA 1580 to see and hear her. She is a small business owner, a CPA. She serves on the LA County Citizens Economy and Efficiency Commission. Bet you didn't even know there was one of those. She works at the intersection of racial justice, economic equity, and corporate social responsibility. And she is running now to be your state senator for District 35, which is being vacated by Stephen Bradford. He's termed out, so this is actually an open seat. Commissioner Jennifer Trichelle-Marie Williams, welcome.
Thank you so much, Dominique. Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, it's great to have you on. And we were speaking before we started. That's your whole name is going to be on the ballot.
Yes, my whole name, Jennifer Trichelle-Marie Williams.
Yeah. So, this is a crowded race. A lot of people want to be a state senator. You've been a commissioner. Why do you want to run first? Why are you running for state senate?
I'm running for state senate because I actually had time to reflect on some of the challenges that I've overcome in my life or things that I faced. And I realized that so many people in this district, not just in this district, but certainly in this district, are facing these same issues. And so I felt a responsibility, having overcome a lot of these challenges, to now give back, to sacrifice, to serve. So that's why I'm running. I've been really clear on my campaign's mission from the very beginning, very consistently, which is to transform lives and to renew a sense of love and collective responsibility in society through the values of transparency, equity, and accountability.
And I mean, it sounds good. It also sounds very like overview-ish, right? Mm-hmm. Like very philosophical and not so specific. Give me some specifics, what you're talking about.
Sure. Well, I do think that a mission can be greater than just the work that you do. And so I do think it's good to have an aspirational mission. At the same time, we do need to get to specifics. So specifically, what it means to transform lives is to improve the quality of life of the residents of Senate District 35 through economic opportunities by creating equitable access to quality health care, food equity, making sure we have high quality education, equitable education, and making sure we have housing. Everyone deserves a roof over their head, and that's just not the case in California, let alone District 35.
A lot of, I think probably every candidate, I haven't talked to all of y'all yet, for District 35 will say they want to create housing, but how?
Yeah, so I've actually put out policy infographics on my Instagram, JTMWill, which goes over my how and some of the ideas that I'm proposing for addressing the affordable housing crisis. One of those things is really making sure we have a focus on homelessness prevention, making sure that we're reducing the costs to build more housing, and bringing back social housing. I'm from this district. I'm from Willowbrook. I was born in Ujima Village, which was a housing development. We kind of got away from housing developments, but those were really key, I think, in preventing and keeping us from the homeless crisis that we now face.
Mm. So you're talking about housing projects?
Yeah, but making sure that they're not what we typically think of projects. I think there's a stigma around projects. And so making sure that we're developing them in a way that makes them desirable, that makes them just as desirable as any other community.
Yeah. It does seem like we're at a point where government, whether it's state, city, county, is going to have to actually get into the housing business, because it seems like we're just not keeping up.
No. And I think the state has not played the watchdog role that I think it needs to hold local jurisdictions accountable for actually developing. We have the Regional Housing Needs Assessment, RHNA, that comes out every so often, and that's supposed to say, okay, we need this X amount of affordable, very low, but the state isn't holding local jurisdictions accountable for actually developing, and that's a problem.
You're also an accountant. Mm-hmm. That's your main job, right?
Yes.
How does how does that translate into being an elected official? I mean, I guess skeptics would say, you're young, you've never held statewide office, you're an accountant, for goodness sakes, why should we give you this role?
I think those exact three things are exactly why folks should think about voting for me. Right now, 40% of California's electorate is under the age of 40. I'm the only candidate in this race under the age of 40. And so in that way, I bring more equitable representation than any of the other candidates. I'm a CPA, certified public accountant. And a lot of what state legislators do is around the budget. We have a 38 to 68, depending on who you ask, budget deficit facing our state's budget next year. I'm the only CPA in this race. So who better to help address that than a CPA? And I haven't run for elected office, but we need diversity of perspectives. We have enough career politicians in Sacramento. I think that's part of the problem.
Actually, I guess it's not that crowded, but we do have some veteran. You're running against some veteran lawmakers.
Mm-hmm.
And there are a couple other black women in the race. So this is at least 3 black women. What I can see, 1 Latino guy. Not that that's the identity is everything.
Right.
But how would you distinguish yourself from the other? I mean, the other 2 black women who are running are also Democrats.
Yes. There's a lot of Democrats. There's only 1 Republican running in this race. How would I distinguish myself? Well, the age, I think, is one distinguishing factor among me versus everyone else in this race, including the black women. Both of the black women have served in elected office before, but we have to look at the quality of service. Just having served in elected office is not good enough. You have to have served well for the people. And I believe if people do their research, there's a lot of objective information about how both of the other black women have served. And in my opinion, in my viewpoint, I think in many people's viewpoint, it was not in the best interest of the people.
Actually, there's a bunch of other people. Yeah, there's. But I just singled out the 3 black women, but there's Lamar Lyons
Yes.
and Alex Montiero and Albert Robles, who seems to be running for something all the time, and James Orlandis Spencer. Okay, so but you right now we're focused on you, Jennifer Trichelle-Marie Williams. What else do you bring to the table besides your youth and your accounting skills as a CPA? I mean, the budget being a pretty good point.
Yes, I think a really important point. One thing that I've heard Supervisor Mitchell mention a lot is the budget. You know, she was the chair of the State Senate Budget Committee. I aspire to do the same thing if I get elected. What else I bring to the table is, I think, arguably one of the most important things, and that's lived experience that connects to some of the greatest issues within the district. Being from Ujima Village is, again, in Willowbrook off of Central and El Segundo. And this community was exposed to contamination at the hands of an oil company for decades. This was a development developed by a black architect in the 1970s, and my family is one of the first families to move in. For decades, my family and other folks were exposed to these contaminants. So environmental injustices like this, and then once the EPA discovered the contaminants, folks there were given a housing voucher that was only good in Lancaster. Talk about displacement.
Wow, yeah.
And so, having faced environmental injustices, I also overcame homelessness twice in my life personally, and childhood poverty. We know that these issues still persist, right? And that's why we need these experiences reflected in our leadership in Sacramento.
Talking with Jennifer Trichelle-Marie Williams, and we'll continue the conversation when we come forward. She wants your vote for Senate District 35. That's a hot race coming up in, actually, this week. The ballots start going out. The last day to vote is March 5th. You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
KBLA Talk 1580 is the exclusive media sponsor of this light of ours, activist photographers of the Civil Rights Movement. A dynamic new exhibition on view now at the Skirball Cultural Center in Los Angeles. This light of ours showcases more than 150 photos taken by movement insiders from diverse backgrounds that reveal the vital work undertaken by a broad coalition of organizers and everyday people whose collective action changed America. This light of ours is one of 3 temporary exhibitions currently on view at the Skirball, which together explore issues related to civil rights, immigration, and pluralism. Tickets and more information for all 3 exhibitions are available at skirball.org. That's skirball.org. SKIRBALL.org.
We all agree that America has a very serious problem.
Okay, KBLA delegation, we need your help as we launch our 2024 Climate Justice Campaign. We would deeply appreciate you going to our KBLA 1580 website and filling out a short climate justice survey, which will help us better serve our beloved community as we build out this campaign. It'll take you just a few short minutes to complete the online survey, and the information you provide us will be invaluable as we do our part to hold folk accountable and amplify the voices of our people in this climate conversation. When you take the survey, you'll be automatically entered to win seats at our annual Black History Month luncheon, Thursday, February 29th. So, hit our website at KBLA 1580. Help us out by taking the short climate justice campaign survey, and you could be our guest at our annual Black History Month luncheon, Thursday, February 29th. Thank you in advance for your consideration and cooperation. At KBLA Talk 1580, we care about the community, we care about the climate. We care about the climate.
Did you know that feeling sluggish or weighed down could be a sign that your digestive system isn't working at its best? Taking Metamucil every day can help. Metamucil fiber powders help promote your daily digestive health using a plant-based fiber called psyllium. The gelling action of this special fiber traps and removes waste, so you can feel lighter and more energetic. Metamucil, promoting digestive health for a better you. Learn more at metamucil.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Are you interested in catching up on all the latest entertainment news, trending topics, and exciting interviews? I got you. Tune in to The Raw Report with Robin Ayers, Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. I'm your host, Robin Ayers. Join me every weekday with some of the best entertainment contributors in the business as we break down what's going on, who's got next, and what not to miss. Only on The Raw Report with Robin Ayers.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
Some people just know the best places to eat around town. Those are the people who know to choose Allstate. They know exactly where to go to get exactly what you're wanting. They know where to find the spiciest hot pot, the gooeyest brownies, and the tenderest, most flavorful portobello steak. Those people also know that safe drivers save 40% with Allstate.
Saving 40% is based on the national average premium savings for Allstate auto customers with a clean driving record versus those without. Savings vary by state and vary based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Heard any other talk radio lately that sounds anything like this? We didn't think so. You're listening to Unapologetically Progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
Jennifer Trichelle-Marie Williams is my guest. She's running for California State Senate, District 35, the seat being vacated by Steve Bradford. You're an accountant. You talked about the budget. We are reportedly in budgetary hard times, which is being used as an excuse, I believe, to pull back on support for reparations when it comes to any kind of monetary compensation. When you look at that package of reparations bills and the conversation around cash payments being part of that, where do you fall in the spectrum of supporting reparations?
Oh, I'm as big an advocate as there is. I've actually supported and advocated for reparations within corporate America. When I was part of a racial equity public policy fellowship specifically focused on Black Americans called CEO Action for Racial Equity, I actually led a team of other Black professionals advocating for reparations, that corporate America get behind them. And I shared my personal experience. I shared and compared the 21st century lynching of George Floyd to actually one of my ancestors, Claude Neal, who was publicly lynched in Marianna, Florida in 1934. Oof. And yeah, I learned about my connection to him through, a DNA testing. And that, really changed me in a deep, deep, deep way. And so I advocated for that. And that issue actually gained the most popularity out of any other idea presented in that fellowship. And I've also shown up. I showed up to 2 public comment sessions for the California Reparations Task Force in support of reparations. And in terms of cash payments, we absolutely deserve cash payments. It is, I believe that not advocating for cash payments for Black Americans is steeped in racism, is steeped in anti-Blackness and white supremacy.
So let's talk about, some of the policy positions that you want to put forth.
Sure. So within, we kind of talked about what does it mean to deliver on that mission to improve the quality of life of folks in Senate District 35. And it's really the social determinants of health, which we know make up 80 to 90% of a person's health. But more specifically, I'm really focused on equitable economic opportunities from everyone from our students to our seniors. I just recently became a part-time caregiver to my 85-year-old grandmother, very unexpectedly. And so I have personally seen recently how difficult it is for seniors on a fixed income to make ends meet. We have a lot of work to do in this state to help. But also having somewhat recently been a student, I understand how hard it is and how I don't feel our education system is preparing our students well to focus on entrepreneurship, not just working for someone else, but starting their own, having our own. I became a CPA from a movie. It wasn't because I was exposed to that field. And I think that's terrible. I think that
you saw a movie and you said, I want to do what that person does.
Yeah, it was a movie called Something New, starring Sanaa Lathan.
Wow.
And I saw a Black woman in a role as an accountant. And in the movie, she owns her own home in Baldwin Hills as a single Black woman. Having been homeless twice, that really resonated with me. I'm like, I want that level of stability. Whatever she's doing, I want to do. And so I switched from journalism to accounting because of that movie.
And apparently you have a knack for it because you didn't flunk out. But okay, so you referenced some sacrifices that you've made. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, when I got the great news that I was being appointed by Supervisor Holly Mitchell to the Citizens Economy and Efficiency Commission, I was excited. I was excited to step up and serve. Being in an unincorporated community, that is one of the few ways that we have to actually serve our community in influencing policy. And a couple days after I was appointed, my company changed its policy and said that no one could serve in those roles anymore. They were grandfathering everyone else into the old policy and would allow them to serve. But me, they would not allow to serve. And so they made me choose between my job and serving my community as a commissioner. And, I went back and forth. I'm a woman of faith. I'm a follower and believer in Jesus Christ. So I prayed, talked to my husband about this as well, because this would have a financial impact on our family, losing one whole income. And I decided to walk away from my corporate career to serve District 2.
Wow.
Yeah. And I believe that that's what all good leadership requires, sacrifice.
And I just, I want to make sure people have a sense of you, but I also, I'm trying to be as challenging to one as challenging to all. Some folks think that younger people like yourself, are all idealism and no steak, all sizzle, no steak, all too idealistic and not practical enough. What do you say to pragmatic enough? What do you say to people who have that thought?
I would say, look at some of the work that I've done and, to check your biases that you have, right? We all have biases, but I have had some success in advocating for policy, not just here within the district, but also in Oakland. But within this district, we had shipping containers that came to predominantly Black community, unincorporated communities of Westmont, West Athens, and I organized with the community, and we got those shipping containers out. I led the advocacy for infrastructure finance policy that is now being shaped currently for unincorporated communities across District 2. And so, yes, I am young, but I'm not going to let people make me feel bad about my youth.
Absolutely not. You enjoy it while you got it.
Right.
And Oakland, you referenced Oakland.
Yeah, that's where I was part of the leadership of the place-based Oakland initiative for Black Oaklanders specifically. And that's where I first learned about the infrastructure finance policy. And we listened first to the Black Oakland community, 3 phases of listening. And we heard that affordable housing and wanting to combat the displacement of Black Oaklanders was the highest on the priority list. And so we advocated successfully for that infrastructure finance policy. I learned about it there and brought it here to District 35.
Jennifer Trichelle-Marie Williams, tell us how to get in touch with you. I don't know if you're trying to get volunteers, trying to get money, whatever, the website, all that good stuff.
Yes. So we are active on X. We're active on Instagram, Facebook at JTMWill, WILL. And also you can check out my website, which gives more facts about some of the work I've done, which is Jennifer, JENNIFER, 4 Senate.com. And once you go to the Instagram page, you go to the link in the bio, you can sign up to volunteer for virtual phone banking or in-person phone banking.
Okay, we got a couple minutes left here. Let me get the Jennifer Trichelle-Marie Williams for California State Senate District 35 elevator pitch.
Elevator pitch. You know, the status quo isn't working. We have folks running in this race that have already served, but what do we have to show for that service? We have a $300 billion budget, and we need someone who understands, who has the expertise of financial management. And I have that as a certified public accountant who has served at the world's largest accounting firm in the world, PricewaterhouseCoopers. But most importantly, I have lived experience that connects to some of the greatest issues in this district, having overcome homelessness twice, however, overcome childhood poverty and faced environmental injustices in this district. I understand what so many people are going through. And that is why I want to be in service to District 35 as the next state senator. We need a change, and we need new, fresh perspectives, and that's what I bring.
Got a minute left. What's your number one priority?
Economic opportunities, equitable economic opportunities.
A lot of that comes from the private sector, though, right? How do you make that happen?
We need industry standards.
Okay. Well, I want to give you your last 40 seconds to say whatever you want to leave us with this morning.
Well, I want to thank you, Dominique, for allowing me to be here. I'm really excited. This has been a very interesting journey.
I bet.
I've overcome a lot through the campaign. I've lost my father, who was a veteran.
Oh, I'm sorry. Really
thank
sorry
you
for your loss.
Thank you. But this is a privilege at the end of the day to run. And that's what I wake up every day reminding myself. And it would be a greater privilege to even serve this community.
Wow. Well, condolences on the loss of your dad. And we'll keep a close eye on this race.
Thank you.
All right. You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
Glad that you're sharing a part of your Monday with us here on the Black Information Network on the 5th day of February. I'm Mike Moore. Here's the latest. President Joe Biden is victorious in the first Democratic presidential primary in the nation. Polls closed in South Carolina Saturday night. Joe Biden saw an overwhelming victory over Congressman Dean Phillips and author Marianne Williamson. The Republican